Hey, awesome people of YouTube, welcome back to another Starfield video. In this one, I'm gonna talk about just the very basics of Outpost. So, you wanna build Outpost, be it for resource gathering, for raising cattle and growing your plants for food, or just for resources. So if you wanna have it for food and animals, or plants and animals, you wanna find a planet that has fauna and flora. Fortunately, this planet is not good for it, but this is just a basic one for me. If you're looking for resources, you want to go to on the left where it says resources and find the resource that you need if it's on it. I picked this planet because it has copper and iron. It has a little lead. You can get all kinds of tetrafluorides. I butchered it. I apologize. And ytterbium. It was horrible. Then if you're trying to find the resource where they're at, you scan the planet and then you showcase the resources. Like you can see right here would be helium-3 and iron. I built mine with copper and iron because I'm gonna be building more and I wanted to have this as, staging ground for that. So, you found the planet, you landed, you scan the spots for like right here on the ground, iron, or over here is your copper, or whatever resource you want to get. So you found it, they're close. Then you want to go to your scanner, press on X on Xbox for Outpost, and it will let you build this thing, Outpost marker, and it will show you what materials are in the range. You can obviously rename it. I'll put it iron copper. So you build your thing, then you go to it, or you go through a scanner and build. But say you're using it through this. Now you go to the build mode and you pick what you want to build. You have your first person view to build, or if you press the backspace or select, you can see what else. For example, I can build a copper over here, but it will require, as you can see on the left, it will require 5 iron, 4 aluminum, 2 tungsten, and it will require 5 power to operate. For iron, it's the same thing, but I need to build it over here, which is barely in range. And in order to get power, since this is not a temperature, not a thick temperature system or planet, it's not as good for me to use wind power or wind turbines because it will only produce 3 power. Versus solar, which has a little more sunlight, will give me 4 power. I can of course use generator, but I'll need helium. So I went with 3 solar arrays, and I connected them from the tractor to them, as you can see. Then in order so I don't have to run between the places, I built the storage containers just right here, and you need to connect them with the line so they gather into it. And you can see you can stack it. You have your solid container, you have your store for liquid, you have gas, and you can make a warehouse, like manufactured goods. Obviously, if you want to build like a little place, you obviously gonna need an outpost airlock to where you can enter. Then you have your 4-wall hub. You can make it 2-story, which will cost more resources. Same with if you're trying to build plants, you can do hydroponic hab A or B. For science, you have the small one and you have the flat one. Obviously, this one won't cost any, like extra materials. You have the military hub. You have a couple labs. You have the small hex lab, and you have the bigger one. Obviously, since it's bigger, it's gonna cost more. If you're trying to build a place where you can obviously land your craft, like I have, go to miscellaneous and build a small landing ship or a small landing pad. But here's the kicker: it'll only support ships under 40 meters. you're trying to, if you have a bigger ship, or if you also want to be able to modify your ship or even build a new one or buy a new one, you want to build a landing pad with ship builder like I have. If you want to be able to mess with like crew members, you want to get a crew station indoors. So as you can see, as I said, I can turn off my solar arrays, and I have a bunch of, as you can see, materials, a bunch of copper and iron, which I'll be using later. You can raise or lower. As you can see, this is not as perfect placement, and you can just go up and access your ship all the way over here. And I know this looks like a terminal you can use. Unfortunately, it's not. The terminal to modify and or buy a ship is right here in the shipbuilder control console. Now let's go indoor, and I apologize for a little bit of bright red. Boom. This is how we'll go inside our little place. And normally this is just an empty room, and you can decorate it. Like you can put a cooking station, obviously, so you can cook, you know. You can have decoration stuff. You can have your fridges, which, boom. You can have like this is like a science, and you can decorate it however you want, you know. In order to decorate, you can just pull out your scanner, go to Outpost, and go and build. For example, let's say I want to throw in a sanitation bot. If I have the materials, I can throw one in. Say we want to have a little chair over here. You know, we can rotate it with the right trigger or left trigger, whatever we want. Boom. For example, that's how you place it. For example, if you want to move it or you don't like what it is, you just highlight it, press A, and you can move it. Rotate it again. If you want to get rid of it, you can press X to delete, and you get all your materials back. You can see all of it is placed differently. Some of the stuff, for example, like you see in the chair, you have multiple variations. Some will cost, like this chair will cost aluminum and fiber, versus this chair will be polymer aluminum, you know. So make sure you pay attention to what it is, because you have sometimes multiple variations. And again, you can always move it around, you can always change it. And it's very easy. As you can see, this is the lines, output link, but normally you don't see them. So you can also have your little games, which you can play. But you can put posters, you can put pictures, you can make like a livable place, you know. Pictures, like I said, posters. This is the crew table. I'm not sure if I can access it, but it looks cool, you know. You can really build something really nice if you put your time, or if you just want to gather a lot of materials for your crafting or research, you know, or for shipbuilding or stuff like that. You can do so as well, as you can see. Personally, I would recommend getting, unless you want to spend a lot of money, I would recommend getting a couple outposts with a lot of materials that you want to use to build your stuff. See, and amass them in something small like this, you know. That way you can practice on how you want your eventual outpost to look. And you will be able to get some copper and iron and other materials, because some of the stuff can get very expensive. For example, you can get turrets and they cost beryllium and iron. You know, it's 4 iron, but if you put a lot of them, it's gonna cost a lot. Same with lead. You can see just the outpost airlock is 2 lead, 3 sealant, and aluminum, while hub is 4 lead, 3 sealant, 6 aluminum. And if you get it bigger, it's gonna cost more. You know, for your hydroponic is going to cost the iron and aluminum and stuff. So you want to get that bunch of stuff, especially if you want to get storages, you know. Again, it's going to cost you a lot, so you want to get the materials to build it. And you can see that you can build on almost any planet. Some planets you cannot build, well, some you can't land, so technically you won't be able to build, but some you won't be able to build because, well, as you can see, you can't build an extreme. So what you want to do is you want to get into it. If you want to research science and go into planetary habitation, because the first rank will allow you to build on deep frozen inferno planets, and it will give you 4 extra outposts. You get a rank 2, it's 8 extra outposts and extreme pressure. Rank 3, it's toxic and corrosive weapons with 12 more. And if you go for rank 4, you get extreme gravity and 16 more, which is massive. You can get outpost engineer, which will help you with outpost. But yeah. So if you don't really care about building on extreme planets and just want to build on something nice or just gather resources, you can do so without spending that point. But I hope that kind of showed you just a little what you need to do to get your basic stuff. This whole place took me probably a few hours. The biggest thing was getting materials to build this little place. But getting the storages, the power, and the extractors was very, very fast and easy. But again, I hope this taught you something, showcased you. If it did, do leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let's grow this channel. With that said, don't forget to stay awesome. I'll see you in the next one, and bye bye.